Hello, everybody, and welcome to Coffee Talk with Celestine Grace and our handsome co-host. I have Bubba Grau and his handsome hubby, John Burgoyne. And this morning, we'd like to talk to Pope John Paul II. And cheers. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Woo! Now, let me... Another one with a sense of humor. All right. Well, I asked for his theme song this morning, and that's what he gave me was Hail to the Chief. And he laughs about it because he said, I didn't feel like the chief. But everybody treated me like that.
Yeah.
And he is more than ready to answer questions. So,
Do you have a question first, or do you want
I'm
me
gonna
to
let you
start?
start.
Okay. This first question is kind of a funny question I have, and it's from one of my daughters. She wants to know if he ever had a girlfriend.
he said yes in second grade back in Poland. He had a little girl that he had a crush on.
Oh,
And she was very petite and very quiet, and he was very much drawn to her energy. But as you can imagine, way back then, nothing came of it.
Of course.
awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My friend Leslie Rodre has a question for him. Did he complete his mission for this incarnation?
Absolutely, and I did it with love and gusto. I started what would be the new papal mindset, rather than with all the old curmudgeonly things that used to be associated with the Pope. I started that role. Am I?
I guess his role became more of a likable figure than a fear figure. Is that more?
He said that's exactly correct. I was human. I was relatable. And that's what started the change of the attitude and the change in the way the papacy is viewed by the general public.
Awesome. Part of that question she asked was there any lessons you learned during your time on Earth?
Oh, many. Everything is a lesson. Everything is a lesson. And what I knew inherently, and the biggest lesson that I was here and came here for, is that it's all about love. No matter what our differences are,
Correct.
or what differences we perceive that we have, the basis of everything is love.
Well, now that you say that, everything was about love. Do you understand, or do you, the Catholic religion today, do you agree with?
So there's many parts of the Catholic religion that are wonderful, and they offer much hope and comfort to those who follow that. It's evolving. Catholicism and the Catholic faith is evolving, and I'm very happy to say and to see that. People are starting to think for themselves. People are starting to realize that the Bible is a guide and not an end-all be-all. So I'm very happy to say that I, from this side, am observing and loving the change towards love.
Now you mentioned the Bible. Now that you're on the other side, you're in heaven. How much of the Bible do you think now is true?
I never considered it to be totally true, even when I was on Earth. But coming from this side and this perspective, what's true for one person may not be true for another person. So where you find your inner truths will be the same as the Bible. So it's very true for some of those people. And I'm going to tell you that the stories have been changed from one to the other to the other. So to give you a specific answer to how much of what is there is true, and when I say specific, I'm just going to talk black and white, 30%.
Cool. On the in the Bible, how many times has this Bible? I mean, I know he may not know for sure, but I mean, how many times has the Bible been rewritten and the stories have changed? Does he know? I mean, I know
He said that it's too high for humans to count, because way back when they were originally telling these stories, everybody would get and do their version of the story. Right? So there's very many versions of the Bible story out there. And it's unique to each individual with a basis in truth. Was it exactly what happened? No. It's impossible. Unless it was written at the time.
Yes.
And even considering that who's writing it has a perspective on it.
Yeah. Well, I know now there's a lot of controversy about, especially anytime you mention about the gays. Everybody wants to go to the Bible, and it was Adam and Eve. No, it says it in the Bible. It was wrong, and blah blah blah. What is your take on same-sex marriage now?
He says that he believes that love should be validated no matter if it's between a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman. And when society as a whole can come together and realize that there is no difference, that love is love, that's when we'll start to have a whole new vibration when we come together for that realization. And please know that that's on its way. It's happening. Everything that you read in the Bible about homosexuality is fear-based. So,
right. Was part of that? I was curious because I've seen several documentaries and read several things about it. Was part of that put in there on the fear-based part? Was it during the time when it was written when the earth was almost, I guess, destroyed by plague, and they basically wanted to put the message out there to be fruitful and multiply? I mean, I was one version I heard of. I know he's laughing right now.
He's laughing. He goes, "Oh, hell no." He says they had to have something to blame shit on even back then.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So, we have the plagues and we have all this going on, and let's figure out how to blame it rather on the problem itself.
Right. What is John? Can I call him? How would he like to be referred to?
Your Holiness?
Your Holiness.
Carol.
His real name. Yeah, that's his real name. Carol.
Carol.
Yeah. Well, Carol, what is his view on back in history books, the Catholic Crusades, where I don't know if I'm saying it right, where people were beheaded because their faith was not in God, or they didn't believe in atheists. What is his opinion on that? Because now we have Islam, and we have Islam radicals, and we have people that are breaking apart, but they have forgotten about there was a time in the Catholic religion when things got crazy and they killed people because they didn't want to join their religion. And now we have the same problem with ISIS, with Islam religion. What is this take on?
So here's what he's saying. He's saying that, that's where it goes all awry, is when people decide that they need to kill, lie, steal, cheat under the guise of religion.
Yes. I feel religion's so governed.
Religion, started out as a guidance and then became fear-based because they are operating under that there is not enough, right? Not enough people. So go out and make more people so you can subscribe to our religion and our way of thinking. Two men physically on earth here today cannot make a person. Two women cannot make a person. So in order to beef up their ranks,
That makes total sense.
right? In order to beef up their ranks, they had to cast some kind of diversion upon homosexuality because they felt that if they didn't have more people coming to increase the ranks, that their religion, their faith would die out. So
Right.
that was medieval. Now he's talking about ISIS and the terrorists, and he says, terrorism comes from a lack. Another, as we find this underlying current, a lack of, don't have. They feel a lack of being heard. They feel a lack of the necessities of life, food, water, shelter. And they want to blame that on somebody. So ISIS just like the rest of humanity is looking to blame their lack on somebody. And it's an evolutionary thing. If you go back in history, all the greatest cataclysmic events are an introduction to something wonderful, into a big, huge change. And that's what happened with the religions, and that's what's happening now. There's more people realizing that we have free will, and that's our biggest gift. And that you have the will to say, I don't agree with that. And it's okay. But that's where it's coming, to a more spirituality-based society than a fear-controlled, religious-based society.
You're right. And you know what I don't understand? This is what I've never got, is you have Catholics, you have Jehovah's Witness, you have all these religions, Pentecostals and stuff.
Presbyterian, it just goes on and on.
Okay, what I see is Catholics going against the Jehovah's, going against the Pentecostals, going against.
Well, hold
And
on.
it's supposed to be all love.
And I've seen Jehovah's Witness go against
Well, no,
Catholic. I'm just
and
putting it
vice
down.
versa.
Correct.
And vice versa.
Mhm.
It's not,
That's not put.
if we're not putting down any religion.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But what I see is, the Catholics believe in this, so they are talking about this group of religions and this and this and this, when it's all supposed to be one love. That's why I love the fact that my religion is all about love.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am Catholic, but it's all about love. I
do.
will love the next. And that's what I feel like religions are governed, because if you're Catholic, you have to do what they, this and this and that, and it just never made any sense to me.
And that's what he's talking about, is free will. The free will to feel and believe whatever you feel within the religious bounds, right?
Correct.
Because no matter what you believe, as long as you believe.
That's right. That's right. And it gives you, so here's the deal with religions. And this is what he was talking about. Like when you said, well, this one blames this one, they all have this different thing. So we're going to talk about fear again. He says religion is really based on fear. Unfortunately, that's not what it was supposed to be, but we have to go back and back and back into the sands of time when they had to procreate and felt that need to beef up their religion, their church, their numbers, to believe like they do. So as humans, we all want to feel a part of something, that we believe the same way somebody does. So when some person says, okay, this is the reality, and then you have 50,000 flockers that go, oh yeah, I agree. That's the reality. And it's easier to believe this than to think for yourself.
That's correct.
Absolutely.
So, what I'd like to say is namaste. The God in me respects the God in you. Our opinions are not right or wrong. They simply are.
Because there is no right or wrong.
That is exactly correct. So, he just wants us all to know that this world is coming to that point, to hang on tight. Hang on tight.
Which brings me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully he can shed some insight on this. I don't know if he can actually tell us, but it's a question that I've always wanted to know. Can you tell us a little bit about, or can you tell us about the secrets of Fatima? There were 3 secrets.
The stigmata was real. Virgin Mother absolutely appeared to the children. The stigmata is real, and he's talking about water. I don't know what that is. Holy water, blessed water.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him a specific question.
Some speculate that one of the secrets of Fatima that was held, I think the last survivor, which was a nun, I can't remember her name, she, I think, spoke to the Pope before she died and told him, I guess, the 3 secrets, or maybe before she died sometime. Some speculate that it was a secret that could destroy the Catholic religion. Like it was something, again, like what's kind of going on now about all of us and, you know, the God within us and realizing it and stuff. It's not, God isn't a church. He is in us. He is love. We all. So I see some laughing going on. So please.
And then to go with that, it was heard that, you know, one of the secrets, and it was the last secret, was about the world ending, which I do not believe.
He's laughing. I'm sorry. He's over here and he's slapping his knee on. You know, almost looking like a papal cartoon. You're welcome. He says, 3 secrets? Only 3 secrets? No, that's not correct. There were no secrets transpiring between myself and the nun. He says, the only secret that is not a secret, but seems to be the greatest secret, all there is love. There are no secrets.
I heard that.
Yep.
I heard him say that.
I guess.
And he says it in such a kind and loving, peaceful way. It's amazing. So no secrets. He says, you know, everybody finds their way to that realization that we are God and God is love and we're love and there is no separation. The secret is finding that in yourself and finding your way to that. That's why we all came here.
I guess we'll have to channel the Virgin Mary one day to find out.
Well, I did that. And it is amazing because a lot of the things that he's saying, I just want to keep calling him Your Holiness. I don't care.
It feels right.
Because
he says, you can call me Ray, you can call me Jay, you can call me Ray J.
He has a strong energy that's so relaxing to me. It's so relaxing to me right now.
We both grew up in church seeing pictures of him. It's like always something, and it's respectful thing, you know.
It's so funny because we've done another interview with the mob guy, and I
you
could
just
feel
had an orb fly past your head, Bubba.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I saw something too.
Let me tell you, we did that interview with the mob guy, and I was all over the place, man. And now we're interviewing this holiness, and I feel such a relaxing peace, and it's amazing. And you know, I feel my energy, and I feel it's just I feel amazing right now, just with him here, and
He
it's
says you
really,
can feel that every day.
and I really
Yes.
do, I really do, and but there's something about his presence right now, and it's
It's so
amazing.
sweet, isn't it? He
I
just
have.
wants us to know something. He wants us to know that he was no more special of a human being than any one of us. That we are all capable of what he did and what he was capable of and more. That we're our own biggest detractors when we say we can't, we won't, it won't happen. He says, none of that language entered my vocabulary. And that's how come I got where I was.
He stayed humble.
Wow.
Stay humble and just know that you're as beautiful as everyone else.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have a first, and before we
Well, I have.
before I forget, I just want to tell him thank you so much for gracing us with his presence today. It's it's amazing that he's doing so. What?
He just kissed your ring.
Aw.
It was such a beautiful
And that's the thing
gesture.
they do. They used to kiss the Pope's ring, I think, whenever. Oh, that's beautiful.
Well,
It was a beautiful gesture of love and respect. I felt him kiss your ring, your wedding ring. So how does that make you feel about your marriage?
that's amazing.
It's blessed
Yes.
by Pope
Thank you
John Paul II.
so much. Thank you so much. But can he kiss the other ring? Let me tell you the story.
Freeze frame.
Our anniversary is tomorrow.
Oh, love it.
1 year anniversary is tomorrow
Oh,
of marriage. So I bought a ring for him because I made a promise to myself. The rings we have on are something that we just had in our drawer at home
right.
that we threw on each other when we got married. And I made a promise to myself that I would buy him for our first anniversary. I would buy him the ring he deserves. And I saw this girl was selling this ring that she bought from K Jewelers. When I saw it, it was beautiful, blue sapphire diamond half carat ring in white gold, and it just looks so royal. It looks like royalty, and I'm like, this will look perfect on his finger.
Mm-hmm.
I went and picked up the ring from this girl. She was selling it for $350. I bought it for $250. Well, I bought it. It's a size 6. He wears a size 10, so
He
I
was
would have to size it up.
Right.
He was
right.
paranoid that it was fake,
I'm
and he brought it
yeah.
up. And sure enough, it was like the jeweler was like, "Yeah, this is legit. She did buy it."
Okay,
from
it
you."
got appraised for $1,500. Well, K Jewelers would not size it for me because they said that because of the diamonds, they can't size it. They don't want to chance it sizing it up. So I bought it to an independent jeweler, and I know this is way off, but I bought it to an independent jeweler, and they're going to send it off tomorrow. It's going to take 2 weeks, and hopefully it can be sized up. I feel a connection with this ring. The girl that I bought it from really needed the money bad, so I didn't want to say, it's too small because
Right.
I
And
fell
you're
in
gonna
love with the
have no
ring.
problem with that. It'll be okay.
Good, thank
It'll be
you.
okay. And how amazing is it that Pope John Paul II acknowledged that gift for your beautiful love the day
That is
before your
amazing.
anniversary by kissing it.
Yes,
He just loves you guys. He just gave us all a big hug. And I get emotional because the energy is so intense
I feel
and
the energy.
beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, just peaceful and happy and loving. Um,
I
so how
feel.
beautiful is that? So he's throwing everybody kisses. So do you guys have more questions for him?
I would like to get to our
Well,
guest question.
I have one more before we get to the guest question, and this is just sort of an outside take on the Catholic diocese, especially in Rome. It's a very powerful. It's very powerful. It has a lot of power in Rome and even in the
Wow.
U.S. and I guess what is it like a mafia sometimes? I mean, I see that, and I really kind of see that sometimes. Like, there's some things that go on, like even with I remember, um, I guess with some of the priests that were pedophilia going around and stuff like that. Was that in his power? Was he in control of that? Is
He said no, he did not condone nor absolutely had no
no, he
power
would.
over that. He says, imagine being the boss over, 50 million people. Well, we'll narrow it down to 1 million people. Says, how do you control or know what each and every single one are doing? Did I condone it? Well, no. Do I judge it? No, because they've contracted this before they even got here. Everything will play out as it's supposed to. The right people are knowing what's going on and how to infiltrate their ranks. And I say their ranks because you're right. It is just like a union would be for Teamsters or whoever. And when you said that, I realized then why I was doing Jimmy Hoffa and Pope John Paul II in the same day, because they really don't match personalities, right? But
Yin and
yes,
yang.
that's what he said. It's just like a mafia. It's like a union, the Teamsters, your IBW, whatever. Because there's power in numbers.
Yeah.
But he wants to
Absolutely.
make this point. As you're watching that and those numbers, I want you all to know that there's more power in the numbers of love.
Love is the key.
When we can join that love energy together and make it bigger and amplify that love energy, all the other stuff will fade away.
That's right. And I would like to make it known, and I know my mom is going to watch this. I want to make
Mama's
it
mom.
really well known that, I was an altar boy, and I loved being an altar boy because I was a part of something. And, we had many priests when I was growing up and young, and the priests now in the Catholic religion. And I'm telling you, I had a bond and a relationship with each one of them. So I have nothing against the Catholic
No.
religion. I love the Catholic religion and everything. And I just want my mom to understand when I say my religion is love, I'm not going against Catholic religion or any other religion. Love is all we need.
Love is all we need. Any dogmas that are brought by any religion or group to make people feel, think a certain way are not of love.
No.
Please know that Source Energy God gave us the most beautiful gift of free will. So, Bubba, to say that your religion is love and you still respect and believe in the Catholic Church is beautiful, because that's what we all should get out of it. A camaraderie, a kinship within our own thoughts, expectations, and dreams. Very, very good. That's what it's about.
Yes. Well, thank you. And what I want to do now is I want to get our guest in here. I think she won the contest, and she gets to answer her question. Her name is Fabiana Papastefani, and she is amazing. I spoke to her before we started, and I'm telling you, I love her energy. She is amazing, and I just could not wait. I cannot wait to ask her question.
Okay, so hold on. Something that was going on between priests before they did the others. He says that he put out very many memos, and he made every attempt with the higher-ups in his ecclesiastic
Bishops and things like that.
in his
Court.
group, and spent many hours. However, it was so widespread. At
Yeah.
this point, there was nothing that, there was no 100% foolproof way of removing that.
Yeah. In August 13th, 1981, the Pope was shot by Ali Ikenchaw.
I can't say that last
Ikenchaw.
name. We'll just call
Well,
him Ali. Ali. Ali.
we want to know who sent Ali to kill the Pope. Was it him or was it someone else? What was the reason behind it?
Pure hatred was the reason behind it, and a disagreement with the Catholic viewpoint on many, many, many things. There were a few in his group. It wasn't like he acted by himself. However, it wasn't some huge organized group. It wasn't like a jihad from anything like that. It was his own little group, and there was about 25 of them.
Wow. It was known that John Paul II visited Ali in jail, and they spoke. What did they spoke about? Because after they spoke, they hugged for a long time.
I looked in his eyes, and I said, "Sweet child of God, I understand that you operated from a place of pain and lack. I want you to know that I forgive you and I love you. I know that you've never heard that before from another man, but I love you and I forgive you."
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's true love.
That's beautiful. Does Eric have a question for?
And yeah, the last question we have is, of course, my main man, Eric, with a K.
Eric, really?
It's
You know,
something-
I guess we get all these spiritual questions, so Eric's like, yeah, I'm just going to ask the fun ones because you
I
guys
love it.
covered all that other good stuff.
I love it.
What was it like?
To not have sex?
No, I thought it would be like that. He wanted to know what the heck it was like running around in the Pope Mobile and how fast it would go.
Yes.
Oh, he says, John Paul II says, that was the best invention ever. You know, I couldn't go out into crowds of people without being constantly harassed or cajoled or worried for my safety. I loved it. It was the best golf fucking cart ever. And I looked at him and I said, fucking? And he went, yep.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. He said, but he looked at him and he goes, well, so unlike other golf carts, this was souped up because if I had to get the heck out of there really fast. So it did go 40 miles an hour, which for that type of vehicle was pretty quick. So, and Eric's like, cool beans. And he's showing me a little picture in my head of him driving around big crowds of people in the Pope Mobile.
That's great. And I want to thank the Pope for being here. I just want to keep calling you Your Holiness, so I'm going to keep doing it. And I want to thank, once again, Holly.
Thank you, Eric.
I want to thank you,
Thank you,
so
Celestine.
much, Celestine.
Love you
And
guys.
I really want to thank Eric, because without Eric, I wouldn't be where I am today. And Eric, please come visit me again. I mean, you are here so much with me, and lately you come and go, and you're not here as much, and I do need you, even though you don't think I do.
He is the man, and I wouldn't be here today without Eric Rune Medhouse, and his parents as well, who are very wonderful people. And I thank them for sharing Eric with the rest of the world. And Holly, my girl, I love her. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Hey, everybody, if you're in Louisiana, check out John Burgoyne because he's a realtor and he's having an open house today.
All right.
Go
That's
buy
right.
some real estate from John. He's the best. Whoop, whoop.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, love you guys.
Have fun
Bye.
today.
Thank
Love
you.
too.
I'm about to have a dog fight. Excuse me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Three girls.
Three girls.
Girl.
God bless your heart.
The floor, man. I'm like, it's messing up my concentration.
You know, Holly has to edit this.
I know Holly
That's
looked at it.
okay.
I'm the mean stepdad.
Each question, Steve. What? Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Be going, kids. Thanks, man.
Bye.